working paper on this that the committee might be able to peruse and study?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have a working paper.
I have talked with the. I may identify them as a counterpart in the future.
No, we are asking you if you have done a study on this that you have been able to put on paper. In other words, sinulat po ninyo and submitted to the Department of Foreign Affairs.
Pwede ho. Pwede ho.
Hindi mo pa ginagawa.
Hindi pa ko magawa kasi dahil sa status ko. Pasensya ka na po.
Sa status mo.
Hindi pa ako naka-appointed. I have no...
Hindi naman kailangan ma-appoint na gumawa ng study na gano'n.
I'm not in a capacity. I just talk.
You know, anybody can write anything. If you go to read the various journals around this country, these people don't have to be authorized to write on something. These are merely recommendations to government. So we want to see if you have any solid background in being able to make intelligent proposals on how to resolve that problem. And this is a concern that I have. In Hong Kong, there are about 120 to 140,000 Filipino workers.
133,000. No?
133,000. Next door to Hong Kong is the province of Guangdong.
We have 15,000 more in Macau alone.
Where?
15,000 in Macau.
15,000 in Macau because of the hotels, but these are independently administered
different.
Regions, special autonomous region or special administrative region, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So they have their own immigration policies. But right next door to Macau and Hong Kong is the largest industrial base of China, which is Guangdong province.
Yes,
now,
Your
this
Honor.
is where the old canton is, Guangzhou, etc. And you cannot see really Filipino workers there because they're not allowed just even to cross the border and work in Guangdong.
Yes.
What do you feel are the chances that at least Guangdong will be opened up to Filipino workers?
We have a lot of chances, provided we, from time to time, hope we can maintain peaceful friendship between China and Philippines. Everything can be expected to change.
Everything can be expected to change. You know, Mr. Ambassador, the reason why I ask you about the various types of diplomacy like Track 1, Track 2, is because I wanted to find out if you knew how to use these types of diplomacy. Now, Track 2 diplomacy is using other nations. So, when we had our peace talks with the MNLF, remember, we used Indonesia and we used Malaysia. So, this is what is known as Track 2 diplomacy, where you use a mediator to be able to obtain the goals that you wish to achieve. There are also other semi-formal channels like academics, university professors, where somebody from UP can talk to his counterpart, say in China, and start backroom talks or back-channel talks.
I agree with you.
Yes, which is why I'm concerned that you don't realize that formally these are recognized ways of diplomacy.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Then you have para-diplomacy, which is established, say, through regional, when, say, Congressman Gullias from Cebu brings a delegation and visits his counterpart in Shanghai. That's another way of back-channeling. And this is also accepted. These are signals that either government would receive and recognize. There's also, remember, the ping-pong diplomacy of Nixon, where he sent ping pong players to China, and that broke the ice in establishing official diplomatic ties with China, just by sending the United States table tennis team to China for a visit. So we're concerned that you haven't bothered to find out what are the tools, the devices available to you and your office should you be sent to Beijing. Then there's also cultural diplomacy, where we will send our Bayanihan dancers there, and they in turn would send cultural
From
teams
time
here.
to time, we have, Your Honor, we
Yes.
have.
But you have to know that these are established diplomatic patterns of communication or establishing contact,
I
so that you
understand.
would be able to utilize them as the need arises, so that you would also be able to send signals to the Secretary of Foreign Affairs and say, there's an opportunity here, why don't you send the Madrigal Singers of UP to
So
the cultural.
you're right, Your Honor.
Now, what do you believe are the specific tasks and demands of any ambassador to China?
Specific? What? Excuse me?
Okay, let me rephrase my questions. The Americans have a term for it. Ambassador Lee, what do you bring to the party? Why is it Domingo Lee that is to be sent to Beijing? Why not some experienced diplomat trained for the last 20 to 30 years by the Department of Foreign Affairs, having been assigned to several countries around the world, having established a network among
That's
government officials of many countries? Why Domingo Lee, who has never served as officially as a professional diplomat in the Philippine Foreign Service?
That is a career one. I'm not a career.
Well, that's established. You're not career, obviously. So why do you feel that Domingo Lee will do better than a career like Ambassador Licaros or other ambassadors we have that have been working for so long in the diplomatic service and who have been trained?
Although I'm the president's choice. He intends to choose non-career to the post, and I happen to be his choice.
Yes. Yeah, Mr. Lee, I will repeat my question. Regardless who the president handpicked for this position, the committee is asking you, what does Domingo Lee bring to the party? I mean, if we were in America, tinatanong ng tao, what is your
The
contribution?
president, as I understand, count trust and confidence most.
Trust and
And
confidence. All right.
And he knows what my experience was for my
All right.
50 years.
Trust can be divided into two parts, no, Mr. Ambassador. I trust that you're honest, and I trust that you're competent. Sometimes it doesn't mix. You might be competent but dishonest. You might be honest but incompetent. Which part did
For the
Pinoy
president,
say-
I think trust and confidence, all this I have.
he trusts your competence?
He trusts me and trusts with my competence.
Yes, because I have no doubt that he trusts your honesty, your integrity, what I am